Hey, welcome to the Brisbane Small Business Show, or BSB TV, whatever you want to call it. I'm Kevin Gammy. I've got Jamain Andrews with me. Is Jamain correct pronunciation? I didn't check that beforehand.
Yeah, Jamain. Benjamin without the Ben, so just Jamain, or call me anything. I answer to anything nowadays. It's all good.
We could make it sound really exotic and all that sort of stuff, which would be lots of fun. Look, I've in the last 15 minutes while we've been chatting and talking about the show, I've already learned so much, which is fantastic. We're going to learn a little bit more about stuff. Really, what Jamain does, he does hosting locally, which is really weird because most people just send it offshore and send it to Amazon and make, Jeff Bezos really rich. And let's stop doing that and actually start supporting locals. And there's lots of different really cool reasons for that, which we'll get into. But before we do that, I want to find out a little bit more about your background, Jamain.
Yeah, look, I started my career straight out of school in selling computers, and then progressed into around 95, 96, went overseas, saw the .com thing everywhere, went, what the hell is this? It was new, nobody had seen it, went, right, we've got to get into this, came back, started an ISP at the beginning of 95, and around 2009.
So hang on, just stop there for a second. You started your very own ISP, which, that's not that's not something that somebody wakes up and goes, oh, look, I think today I'll start an ISP. Weren't they big and complex and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, for sure. But I mean, it was a natural progression of PC land, computer stuff. And we were always doing the nerdy stuff. So it was right, okay, what is the next big thing? Where can we go that's new in the future? And it took a few years to catch on. And we eventually became the largest local call internet provider in Queensland, then spread out nationwide. And then got gobbled up by Telstra, which was great. So that was around 2000 that they took us. So, yeah.
So you got gobbled up by Telstra, but you got to keep Kinetics, which is absolutely fantastic. Telstra just wanted your customer base. They really didn't care about much else.
Correct, yeah. So, we were always doing the corporate quality service in Kinetics. It was sort of like a bit of a brand within a brand. And a lot of people knew who we were, and we said, right, if you guys don't want it, I'll take it. We took it and we ran with it. And we've been doing that now, obviously, for the last 20 years, and going from strength to strength. I mean, we are local for a reason. And we've got a lot of good quality customers out there. So, yeah.
And the funny thing is, if anyone knows people in the whole web development side of stuff, or even SEO specialists and things, your friends will know Jamain, because every one of them that I know has said to me, oh, you should be speaking to Jamain. You should be speaking to Jamain. And I'm going, who is this dude? Right? So you're doing an awesome job already. I love the fact that you want to support, our little group here with Brisbane Small Business. Really, I'm really honoured with that. Really fantastic. One of the things that gets really confusing, though, from a lay person who has a couple of websites, you get scared about, hosting it locally because, won't that hurt you? And you've gone, no, Kevin, there's a whole lot of reasons why you shouldn't, why you should do local, not shouldn't, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Look, local's a big thing. When you're supporting local people, they're people that are also supporting your clubs. They're also people that are supporting your things like WordPress meetups, which we do regularly. We support them Australia-wide. So every month throughout the country, we have different meetups. So we're supporting a lot of that. So you're supporting a whole economy within an economy. The other advantage is that, of course, you're coming back to, I guess, if content is king, and we all know about SEO and content being king, what other things can I do that gives me an SEO boost or benefit? And, some of that actually is bringing your hosting home here to Australia and getting some speed advantages, some geolocation advantages.
So before we get into that part of it, let's talk about content being king, because it is a really important thing. It's a saying that we've all heard so much about how important cool content is, and people will invest, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on marketing campaigns and even on SEO and things like that. But if you're not doing the right thing with your site, and Google hates it because it's too slow, and a host of other reasons, then it doesn't matter how much you spend on your content, it's not going to give you a return.
Absolutely, or a lower return, and or cost you more with your advertising, because you are penalized, and it's actually in their training manual for Facebook ads, training for Google, is that, you know, if your site is slow, it will actually cost you more money for your ads. So, you know, spending the couple of dollars on your hosting overseas, you bring it back, you're actually going to be saving money because it's costing you more and you don't realize it. And I think that's the key out of a lot of this stuff, is that you don't know what you don't know. And you think that pay-per-click, you know, you're paying $2-3. Oh yeah, I'm just paying that. Well, it can be cheaper. It's just got to tick a lot of the other boxes, which we do natively.
And as I said, you know, you also think that, okay, well, but, you know, surely if we go to, you know, the big guys, then they're going to have the right connections and their stuff's going to be cool. But you brought in that there's a lot of other technical stuff in the background. So you've actually got 5 tips, or a number of tips that about how to make sure that whilst you're supporting local, you're still going to be doing the absolute best thing for your site.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing is probably geolocation. If you bring it back to Australia, Google wants to know about local. If your customer is looking for a search for something, right, they will basically give you a local feed first. So if your site is local and it's quicker because it is local, so the latency or the speed between your computer person that's sitting there looking for it and where your servers are, it's going to be quicker, latency's lower, and therefore, bang, you got an SEO benefit. Right.
Fantastic.
So geolocation is a massive thing. The next thing is probably about your domain name. So the AU space. So a lot of people have just the .com. Try and secure the AU space as well. So whatever it is, .com.au makes more sense if you're selling to your local customers. Certainly secure the other one, the .com or wherever it is that you think about you want to market to. But if you are marketing local, have it as your local domain. It's preferenced. So yeah,
absolutely. Cool. So geolocation. It really is all about speed, isn't it? I've heard rumors. You know, speaking to a lot of SEO guys, I hear rumors about, hey, you need to basically strip your site out so that your pictures are, you know, slightly lower resolution. It's not going to hurt the look of the site and all that sort of stuff, but it is really about the page load speed and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's a lot of fancy technical stuff that goes in the background, and, you know, we could go on all day with the technical features, you know, like the new features of WebP and all this sort of stuff. But, you know, honestly, if you think about from a native point of view, we just do it. And I guess a lot of the other providers, because they've got legacy servers, they've got legacy technology.
Our you stuff is really old stuff where you say legacy, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
you were speaking in computer talk there for a second, and I just thought, no, we've got to bring it back to English.
Sorry. Yeah, look, old stuff. So old technology. If you think, really, the way that they do it is that they cram everybody into one little hole, as it were, and they're all fighting for resources. And frankly, if you get a lot of traffic to your site, they're fighting for so much resource, it's so slow, and you're not actually being able to serve the content correctly. So
I'm still scratching my head at how Google finds, you know, 1.3 million solutions to Brisbane small business when I search it. But anyway, you know, and in less than, you know, 3 seconds, I think it's amazing. So the speeds, making sure that the servers aren't overpopulated and oversold is a really important thing. There's also that security thing, certificate stuff. What's that about?
Yeah, so obviously Google wants to know about trust. So the way that we enforce trust is by adding what we call a SSL certificate. So it's, you know, you see that little lock in the top left-hand corner of your browser, or it'll say not secure, insecure, depending on what browser version you're running. So it's about having that lock and that trust. So you're not only building trust with Google, you're also building trust with your end user, which is important, especially if you're going to be selling stuff. And, with all this COVID-19 stuff, everyone is trying to sell. They're trying to get an advantage. You've got to have an SSL certificate. And that's just native on our platform. And there's a lot of other little technical things that we do with those certificates that really 99% of other providers haven't caught on to, and they really aren't providing. So they're versions of security. And there are also little tweaks that we can do to make things quicker. As I said, I won't go into the actual technical terms, but it's really about letting us take care of the garbage, and you just get back to doing what you do well, which is your business. Really, that's the key focus.
Absolutely. As you said, you just solve problems for people. So basically, if things are slowing down, if they're not being found as regularly or whatever, you just help them go, hey, what is it you need? Let us do that. One thing that I was really, really impressed with was that I was initially a bit confused about, but you went, no, we just do hosting, Kevin. Because I asked, did you have other services you provide? You went, no, we just do hosting. And it's like the guy that just does SEO or the person who just builds websites. Coming to a specialist is someone who's going to help you at the top end of their game, because this is what they do.
Absolutely. And look, you can't be a master at all these trades. We see them where they try to do SEO, they try to do web design, they try to do hosting. And in fact, a lot of them that do, and this is why we work so heavily with a lot of partners and affiliates, is that, they're what they think is the profit center from a web hosting point of view generally isn't, because they're absorbing a lot of their time in fixing email problems, doing that and the other, trying to keep up to date. Whereas, we can do it on scale, and we can script a lot of things that it just happens. So we do hosting, do it well, work with partners that do the development. So that's about that sort of, work with good people like yourself, find those people that you can work with and leverage that.
Absolutely, which is fantastic. So, look, and when we're supporting local people, we're also putting more money back into our local economy. And the more that we can build our local economy, there's been talk about recession in the last couple of days. That was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah, right. Look, I say what recession? Let's just don't even talk about it. Honestly, you can save money. Okay, the Australian dollar's gone through a tube. Yeah, you're going to save more money. Bring your hosting home. You're going to save more money by having to pay less for your click ads. Bring your hosting home. You're going to save money because you're actually going to be able to talk to somebody if you have a problem, instead of waiting for hours, which generally happens, on trying to get a resolution on a problem. Bring your hosting home. So it's about, and there's a lot of things that we can do to just bust through this recession. It's just there is no recession. That's in my mind. We just can do so.
And my mantra's been for a long, long time. In fact, since I started Business Small Business, if I could get us all working predominantly with each other rather than sending all of our money outside our circle, then all of a sudden what's happening is we're all going to be doing really well. Right?
Absolutely.
We're not really worried about downturns and things like that, because all the money's still circulating around our circle.
That's it.
The members of Business Small Business that we have today have a combined income of $2.5 billion. That's with a B. If we all spend our money with each other, stop thinking about each other as competitors and start thinking of each other as colleagues, because I don't know too many of us, maybe you might be the exception, that could look after 9,500 people if they dropped on you tomorrow.
Yep. Oh, look, it'll be a challenge, but we'll work it out. I'm sure we can scale quickly. Hey, look, we've got the infrastructure to do it, so that's not a problem.
And if you had to share it with one or two other people who do what you do in the group, you wouldn't whinge and moan too much. I'm sure from our discussion.
No, for sure.
So it is a reality. If we could do more business with each other, with locals, that is the absolute mantra that I've been singing for 6 years, and earlier than that. we have an awesome economy with the group members that we have. Let's start looking at how we can work together, and let's try and make that as easy as possible. Have you got any last tips?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing out of it is, I will post later the tips and the challenges that people are faced and how we can solve them. I think the biggest thing is that they feel that it's a pain to move hosting. We've got a dedicated team that actually specializes in moving sites. It's all they do. So, and over the years, we've developed a formula. When I say formula, they've got pages of ticks that they go through from their quality assurance. And, every one of those, they don't move on to the next thing until it's ticked. So, we make sure it's seamless, painless. And, clients say after we send them an email, okay, you've been cut over. Oh, we didn't see any downtime. No, that's right. Oh, last time we did this, we're down for 4 days. No, that just doesn't happen. It's smooth, it's easy. You get to communicate with a human. A dedicated person gets involved with you, and we say, right, let's do this. And what works for you? Because we don't want to cram you into a box. It's not what we do. Let's just basically work together on a good outcome so that, so once again, you can get back to doing what you do best and you don't have to worry about the technical stuff.
Oh, we should have told people at the start of the show, don't you hate it when you think about all the best stuff to do after you've already done it?
Yeah.
Because at the start of the show, we should tell people if they waited to the end of the show that we were going to tell you a really awesome offer that Jamain already is running. But we forgot to do that. So now we're just going to have to tell them what it is anyway.
Which offer? Look,
on where they can start working with you, and you'll run that free of charge up until next year.
Absolutely. Look, the key was as soon as this COVID broke out and we saw a lot of businesses struggling, and we said, right, what can we do to assist? And it's all about long-term assistance to these businesses, because if they're not here at the end of this, right, we haven't got a long-term business that's going to be profitable or sustaining into the generations. So we said, right, we need to support them. We said, until January next year, let's just give them free hosting, migrate the stuff over to us for free, give them some advice, give them some hand holding, and let's just do it. And there's a lot of people out there that need support, and it's not, they think, okay, a couple of bucks a month or whatever, but it's all the value adds that comes with it. They can get advice on, how to generate more income, I guess, out of their website. So
absolutely,
the offer is there.
I really appreciate that offer for everyone in the gang. We've got some really big news coming up over the next couple of days. So I'm just trying to finish doing stuff, but we're going to have a competition for everyone in Brisbane Small Business, for all 9,500 of us. It's going to be truly awesome, and the winner's going to it's going to make a huge difference to their business. So that's coming up in the next couple of days. Jamain, I want to thank you so much for the support that you're already giving people. I want to thank you for the offer of free hosting up until January. There's still 6 months, so it's not an insignificant sum. It's going to help people, and particularly during a time where a lot of people are in transition of different things. So thanks very much for that. Thanks very much for your generosity. As I said, so many different web guys and SEO guys and all that I speak to, and guys, I mean guys and girls that I speak to, had all said to me, you've got to have a chat with Jamain, because, as I said, how's this guy better known than anybody else I know? So you're doing an amazing job already. Obviously, you're helping people out, and that's why they're recommending you. So thanks very much for all the support that you already give small business in Brisbane.
Yeah, look, and we appreciate the support that the businesses give to us. As I said, from the mum and dad on the corner that runs a little shoe shop right up through to government, we support. So, take advantage of it. Come on over, chat with me personally. Pick up the phone, 1300 789 260 or kinetics.com.au.
Hang on, so you actually have somebody that answers a phone in an IT company?
Absolutely. You can pick it up now and give it a call.
Oh my
Test me out.
goodness. Try doing that
And
with
it's,
them.
and it's not overseas. Try and get your support from some of the other companies. They're all gone.
Absolutely.
They were in lockdown and they were gone. So yeah.
Thanks very much for your chat today. I really enjoyed it. And as I said, learned some stuff along the way, which is absolutely fantastic. It is one of the great joys of doing this and doing all these shows. So thanks very much.
No,
We'll
look, I
catch you soon.
appreciate it, Tom. Thanks, mate.